since we last spoke, so much has happened, right? There was the NCAA basketball tournament for men's and women's well underway. The NCAA wrestling championship, shout out to Penn State. They had a great Saturday. Bo Nickel keeping me up to speed on everything that transpired over the weekend. And, I appreciate it. I'm not the biggest collegiate wrestling fan, but I like what they're doing. And I thought the usage of GC, Jordan Burroughs, and even our own Chael P was a very smart move on ESPN's part. On Friday, we had the first event of the new Bellator era. I'm calling it Bellator 3.0. 1.0 was the Bjorn era. 2.0 was the Viacom/Scott Coker era. This is the PFL era. So it's 3.0. It happened at the SSE Arena in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Main event saw Corey Anderson finally pick up gold for the first time in his career. He came so close a couple times in Bellator, one time in particular, a couple years ago. He beat Carl Moore in a pretty dominant affair. Moore had his moments, and he was the favorite. But in the end, Corey Anderson got the win. Patricio Pitbull got a big win. What about Fabian Edwards? Punch his ticket to fight Johnny Eblin. More on that. It was the debut on Max, new era, exciting stuff. Saturday, like I said, we had the UFC card. Rose Namajunas with a big win. Peyton Talbott, rising star. Saturday during the day, I went to Knicks game with my kids. You may have seen on social media, we got to meet Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Walt Clyde Frazier. My son, Walter, met Walt. A tear to my eye. Incredible stuff. And thank you to my friend Randy Cruz, who hooked that up. Bought my own tickets, but he got me and my kids all the way to the front for a shoot around, and it was incredible to see some of those guys. Isaiah Hartenstein, Deuce McBride. They got to meet them all. Get signatures. Mike Breen, Allen Houston. It's one of my favorite days as a dad to be able to experience that as a diehard Knicks fan with my kids. Some members of the Nets came up, very nice. Coach Jay Hernandez, assistant coach, great to talk to him in person for the first time. Dorian Finney-Smith. It was just an unbelievable day, despite the rain. And then yesterday I had a nice day as well. Today I wake up to the news that my sister has given birth to her third baby girl in the span of 5 years, 6 years. She's an absolute machine, healthy. Everyone's doing well. 9.4 pounds. So mazel tov to her and her husband, Mike. Very, very happy for them. Very excited for them. It warmed my heart, and I can't wait to meet the little angel, hopefully in a few days. So that was great news. So much to be excited about. So much to be happy for. But some are saying on the internet right now that the biggest story of them all, the biggest thing to happen since we last said goodbye on Wednesday of last week was the fact that our very own GC Connor Burks shaved it all off. Yes, could we get some breaking news music? Oh, there he is. Who's that? Is that Goram? Who is it? Who is that?
Is it Kyle Nelson? Yes. So before I do it, I just have to say I told this to Frank. I did it on Thursday, and I've been looking in the mirror, called my parents, family, friends, was with friends all weekend. Have started getting used to it. Told my girlfriend, everything like that. So I'm used to it. And then as I was walking into work today, I'm like, and I'm gonna have to sort of rehash the whole
So you're exhausted. You're tired.
Yeah, of it? I'm tired of it. But
okay,
yeah,
sorry. Thanks for indulging us. Let's get the headphones off here for a moment. I want to see it just in the.
Take a nice 360.
Wow.
Shape, everything.
It's a nice shape.
On.
Is it a little fade there? Did you get a little taper fade? What do we get? Was that sorry, you didn't have your headphones. I told you to take them off.
Yeah.
Little taper fade. What do we have there?
Yeah, a little fade. A 0.5. You had to fade it into the beard. People were like, "Did you do it yourself?" I'm like, "No, this is my guy Ibrahim. You don't get this fade.
No, you can't do
into
that.
The beard. Just like that. Was real nervous going into it. I was like, "How's the head gonna look?" Shape is great in my opinion. I dig the shape. The barber next to us was just like, he was like, "Oh, I can take a deep breath. I was nervous for you. You got a great head shape." I'm like, wow, that makes me feel much better. And yeah, it feels good, man. Don't have to do my hair in the morning. Wake up looking the same. I never really had any good hair days, but I definitely don't have any bad hair days now because I just don't have hair. Was growing the beard out for a reason.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Man, you're really letting the thing go." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of wanted to offset because these plans were in place. It wasn't like I woke up and was just like shaving it." Had a few weeks to really belabor on it. Knew I was going to do it eventually, so we pulled the Band-Aid off, and there's no looking back now.
And you're happy?
I'm happy.
You'll never
do I
have
think
long
I
hair
look
again.
better?
Okay. Well, I didn't ask that, but go ahead.
I can't. Well, that's something that I keep asking myself: is do I look better? I don't know.
There's
But
really
do I
only
like it more? Yes.
I'll answer that for you.
there's really only one opinion in that conversation that matters, and that would be the one of your significant other.
Correct.
What is her answer to that question?
I think I need to see her in person.
Oh, this hasn't happened yet.
No, haven't seen her in person yet. Just FaceTimes.
Okay.
So she had a busy weekend working, obviously with.
Oh,
the
she's
tournaments
been
going on.
unavailable, so I mean that might be a problem.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna lie. Not to hash it out here in public or anything.
No, it's good.
FaceTime her immediately after. She's like, "Oh wow, man, I'm gonna really have to get used to that." I'm just like, "All right, I'll take that as a acknowledgement that I shaved my head rather than a compliment or anything like that." And then we're pretty much exclusively FaceTime when we're calling each other. Like you're just gonna FaceTime. You're not gonna do like the dial up.
Yeah. It's
Next 2 phone calls
What?
were not FaceTime. I was like, man, you haven't just dialed me up in a while here. She's like, no, I'm in the car. Then the next one, I was just like, well, we're going right back to the no FaceTime here. I was like, this feels a little concerning at this point. Yeah, my dad was like, oh, it looks amazing. My dad, by the way, did not inherit his hairline. He is like 67 years old and hairline just straight across, nice, thick, dark hair. I'm just like, here's your son, 36 years younger than you, who is now 100% balder than you. Got my grandfather's hairline, which is great. But he was like, oh, man, it looks great. This is awesome. I'm so glad you did it. My mom was like, very similar to my girlfriend. She was like, this is going to take some getting used to. But now that I'm used to it, I'm like really starting to like it even more.
Now you're gonna own it.
Yeah, now that like I kind of had poofy-ish hair. Now that I like am used to not seeing it there, I'm getting used to it more.
First of all, your life is gonna be so much better now. Happier,
I'm ready for work
at
in
ease.
10 minutes.
Not only that, I feel like when I cut my hair and I do it once a week, I feel like I'm in the best mood possible on the day after I cut my hair. You feel lighter, you feel fresh.
Oh, it's great.
You feel clean. There's nothing in the way. You're going to be infinitely happier. Then you go for a run. It's just like the wind is just going to like glisten off your skin.
The first shower was amazing.
First shower, it's so much better.
The internet was great. I got to share a couple of things from the internet. Obviously, the first and foremost was the comparisons to Garam. So I just want to break it down real quick. Garam, GK instead of GC.
It is incredible.
He's bald. He has a beard. He's from Georgia.
Wow.
And he was born in the early 90s. Goes on my resume. GC, bald, beard, from Georgia, born in the early 90s as well.
It's pretty remarkable.
We even got the fight announcement from Marcel Dorff. I mean, that was huge. Ariel Helwani versus Conor Burks at the MMA Hour on March 25th. And then I was actually getting a little bit worried. I got the Christian Eriksen jersey here. I thought I might have to retire this from the back wall.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to put it away. But then I get the breaking news, Denmark playing in the friendly, and there's Christian Eriksen shaving his head this week, too.
He didn't have a shaved head last week? That is insane.
So he went from normal hair to like a buzz cut. Wow. This is my first time seeing him where I'm talking like, this is me right here. This is even a mannerism I would make. Like if I smell something weird in New York City or something like that. That is
amazing.
This is amazing. If I shorten up the beard, I mean, we might as well be one the same.
Oh my God.
Another one was Kyle Nelson.
Yes.
I mean, pretty similar. He's really just bald with a big beard. But yeah, I do have one video. I thought this was my official transformation on Thursday that a lot of people pointed out. I mean, here I am, happy, young, into my Garam era, and there I go. Feels good.
Man.
Feels good.
Well, you look fantastic. Well, that is uncanny right there. That is amazing.
Look at that. It smiles great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, welcome to the club.
Feels good. I mean, yeah. Now I see bald guys on the street, and like it's almost like when you have a Jeep, you do the Jeep wave or whatever. It's the bald there's a show of respect. You get the head nod. It's an unspoken bond of the Brotherhood of baldness.
Okay. Well, welcome to the team. Have you guys seen the new Tapology? They've updated it. Does anyone
Yeah.
notice this? There's nice little wrinkles.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know about
No
you guys.
numbers on the 300 one.
I
Huh?
feel like Ariel is looking for a real hard sell.
I know they actually updated a lot. What do you mean no numbers? They're in the middle.
Yeah, you just said no numbers.
Oh, because they used to be on the left side. Now they're in the middle.
Yeah, now it's right in the middle. It's great.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see it. They used to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks good. How many title defenses in a row? Yeah, there's a lot.
Nah, I
going
don't know
on.
about this. The one next to Gaethje. With all due respect,
Defending champ,
it's not a real title.
BMF champ. I mean, he's got the belt.
Who watched the NCAA wrestling tournament?
Watch the NCAA tournament, not wrestling though.
Okay,
Not me.
no. Because a lot of people were talking about DC in there and Bo Nickel.
Yeah,
was
so there
trying
was
to-
some drama on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, all good. And what about Renato Moicano? Isn't his breakdown?
Man.
Isn't his breakdown of the money and all that? It's just like this guy is. I will never be as smart when it comes to economics as that man. I don't even understand half the things he's saying, but I know what he's saying is legit. It's just incredible how, you know what I appreciate so much about him? How knowledgeable he is, how eager he is to learn, and also how he doesn't beat around the bush. Like even asking about Dustin, you would think, oh, teammate, yeah, of course he's a legend. Nah, I wouldn't like that. You know what I mean? There's something to be said for that.
Well, that's why I think you take to it. One takes to it, rather. I'm not trying to say like you specifically, but he believes what he says, right? And that's what you want to hear from somebody. So whether he's right or wrong, ultimately he's very compelling and convincing because he you don't for 1 second doubt that he believes what he's saying. You know,
Right. There's
it's very compelling.
there's a passion and
Yeah.
an endearing quality to him. So still to come, Sadiq Youssef, Rose Namajunas, and Chris Weidman, who of course competing on that Atlantic City card, which the boys are going to. What are the plans? What do we have lined up for Atlantic City? What's the itinerary? When are we driving down? What are we eating? What do we do? Like something. Can I live vicariously? Do we got something to share?
I mean, you could come.
No, I
don't you?
can't. But I just want to know about the plans. I just want to know what you guys are doing.
Driving down Saturday morning. That's when you're doing it, Rick, as well.
Saturday morning. Yep.
Yeah, Saturday morning down to Atlantic City, and then checking on the hotel, get something to eat. Don't know where we're eating yet. Margaritaville. There's a lot of options. Hit the casino.
I heard they just closed the Margaritaville in Vegas.
Well, good thing we're going to AC this weekend.
Yeah.
We can still go to the Margaritaville
Still
there.
sad.
Hit the casino, and then in there from fight one. We'll ass in seat by the time Nate the Train is making his walk.
Nate the Train is the current jerker.
According to Tapology, yeah.
Sheesh. All right. Solid card. How do you feel about the 10 p.m. main card?
It's actually been updated.
Oh.
Actually been updated. Angel Pacheco, Colin Lockraine. So I will
Yeah, I'm
be
surprised.
ass in seat for that one.
How do you feel? So 10 p.m. main card started. You gotta sleep over, right? Or are you doing the crazy?
I am
Rick
sleeping
thing?
over for sure.
Rick, are you driving back?
Rick's like, yeah, I'm hitting the poker table till 6 a.m.
Drive in, event, poker table grinding from
You're not gonna
10 in the
sleep?
morning. Drive back.
I
May
actually
or may
respect
not
that.
be
That's stupid.
taking Frank.
I
as
respect the hell out of that.
Nah, you're not gonna sleep. You're not gonna have a hotel.
Oh, I'm sleeping. I got a
I'm
great
also
hotel room.
sleeping.
I don't understand. You're not gonna have you're gonna have nowhere to put your stuff.
What stuff? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Are you gonna go to sleep at any point?
No.
That's dangerous. Well,
He's been offered a place to crash.
this is like a
if he needs
3-hour
it.
drive,
Yeah.
is it not?
For him, maybe. For me, it's much shorter.
Yeah, easy peasy, light work.
I'm actually.
I don't feel. I will be honest. I don't feel comfortable with this. Are you gonna drive? Are you gonna drive alone?
He's a grown man. Yeah.
Frank may or may not tag along. Let's see. Maybe
Frank,
maybe
you
you'll
should
be able
tag
to
along.
convince him
Someone
he's
should
putting
go in the car.
His life
On the way home,
Yes.
volunteering Frank for that. I feel like that's opening a whole new can of worms. I would
my
not
wife
wanna
was
do that.
like, so he's gonna drive without sleeping. I'm like, it's a Tesla. It'll take care of whatever he can't do. It'll account for.
What Rick is doing sounds like a nightmare to me. It just sounds terrible.
Not only that, it sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit dangerous.
done it many times.
You've had
Feel very
wait.
confident
Didn't you fall asleep one time?
No.
Whoa. Look, if you need to
Don't
tag
put
me
that
in,
out
I
there
could drive
because
as
that's
well.
not what happened. So don't. Like,
I'm not. I'm legit worried you're getting bad at me. something
I'm
happened.
mad at you because you just said something that's like
Okay,
completely
I'm sorry.
made up.
I'm sorry. What happened? Something happened when you were driving, right?
I had an accident, but it has nothing to do with sleeping.
I just get worried about these things. I know. I've heard of stories. I just don't know why. Why can't you go to sleep and then wake up, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then get on the road?
Could do that, but
5
instead
a.m.
I'll be
Why
at the
not
poker
you just
table.
go to the event, you go and you sleep till like 9 or 10, you get up
Or
and you
that.
drive home.
Or that. How long is it door to door?
I feel like you guys are thinking that this is some like protest against sleep. I'm not. I'm not like anti-sleep. I'm not trying to protest sleep. There are things to be done. The reason to be in Atlantic City is to go watch this event and then gamble.
Yeah.
Just want to point out, I
I'm gonna
didn't
hit the-
react this way, Rick, when you told
Yeah,
me.
I can appreciate that.
Despite being a big
why you're allowed.
sports bettor, I am not a big casino bettor, casino gambler. But I have been I've been practicing craps a little bit. I think that's going to be my game of choice this weekend. Get a little warm up before we go to Vegas. I actually got the practicing some on the computer here. Just trying to learn the rules, get comfortable.
What is the casino there? Like, what's the top casino?
I think there's a bunch that you can go to. Yeah.
No, but like, isn't there like a crown jewel?
What is the Crown Jewel? I've
The,
never
the
been.
nicest ones are Bellagio and
They have a
Ocean.
Bellagio at AC.
Or is it called Ocean anymore? I don't even know what it's called.
Ocean was the new one, or the newish one from like 10 years ago, right?
This says Borgata, Ocean, Caesar.
Sorry, did I say Bellagio? I meant Borgata. And
Okay.
Ocean, yeah. Those are the two.
All right.
Hard Rock. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. MGM Tower. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Then we get to see the boardwalk. Iconic AC.
You've never been?
Never been. Can't wait.
I would, curb your expectations just slightly.
You don't know where my expectations stand.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
expecting a dumpy New Jersey town, a UFC event, and some gambling in a casino.
All right, fair enough.
You will get that. I promise that
That's pretty much on
that will be
point.
delivered, yeah.
That's pretty much
I can't
on
wait.
point.
I can't wait. We get to rep New Jersey. I love that we got Luca and Blanchfield going, repping the Garden State. I think Julio Arce, according to Tapology, also fighting out of New Jersey. Then you got the Pennsylvania guys and Bill Algio, Andre Petrosky. You got Wyman from the area. Dennis Bazooka is from Staten Island. I like it. I'm feeling good about Saturday. I'm hyped.
I did just get a very nice text message from
Oh,
manager to the Stars, Oren Hodek of KO Reps, and he's listening to our conversation right now, and he wanted to invite you guys to the Aaron Blanchfield, Bill Algio after party at the Harrah's Pool.
Nice.
So could this maybe entice you to stay the night?
no, I'm already staying the night. I'm already there. I mean, Senor Perfect,
I can
Blanchfield
go to
after
that
party.
too, and then gamble and then be gone. It has nothing.
I mean, I'm there. Are
planned
you
at all.
kidding me? That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for the invite.
Well, there you have it. I'm
very
gonna.
I mean, that's amazing. Wow, Saturday is just really
getting
shaping
better.
up here. I mean, we're gonna get the coconut shrimp at Margaritaville into a great UFC card. And I'm talking, I'm Bronson it on Saturday. Fight 1, I'm in there.
As you should be. It's not a bad card.
It's a great card.
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
buy a
great card.
poster. I'm gonna buy a T-shirt. I mean, the whole thing. I've my
Good luck with that.
my tourist whatever you would call it. My just being in awe of the event it's been in almost 2 years now since I've been to one. I'm rejuvenated. I'm ready to go. I didn't see the Baba O'Reilly thing last time. I've heard I got to see that this time.
Crucial. That is crucial.
Listen, I
Yeah,
was
that is
meeting with
crucial.
people, places to go, people to see. Frankie, that's where I was at last time.
By the way, pretty remarkable that in the span of a month you will cross off Atlantic City and Las Vegas from your
In the
wish
span
list.
in the span of like 20 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're warming up with AC, and then
They're nothing alike.
No, I know, but
Other than the casinos, I
I feel like these are two places that you really wanted to visit.
yeah. I'm excited to see fights in Atlantic City. I feel like that's a very old timey thing. Like I feel like that's been happening.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
as long as
boxing.
For
time.
good reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyson,
reason.
Trump. Is Trump Taj Mahal still a thing?
No. I was looking that up.
Not a
Not
thing.
there anymore.
WrestleMania
Yeah.
4 and 5 were held in Atlantic City, by the way.
Legendary, man. Legendary.
I ran through the some of the notable things that happened this past weekend. Failed to mention on Sunday, Demetrius Johnson winning the Master 2 featherweight division gold medal at the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Pan American Championship and also silver in the open weight division. His first opponent was 250 pounds, 6'3". His final opponent, whom he lost to, 215 pounds. This guy is unbelievable. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I can't believe he's not a black belt at this point, but nevertheless, he's competing. You know, I know the Pan Ams are a big deal, but very little people in attendance, and he's just there for the love of the game, humbling himself, competing against, you know, people who aren't household names. This is one of the greatest martial artists of all time, and perhaps at the end of his fighting career, but still challenging himself, still going out there, still being an inspiration. It's pretty damn remarkable, and my respect for him continues to grow exponentially. So congratulations to DJ on that feat. Want to go back to Friday in Belfast. So the first Bellator event of the PFL era, Bellator 3.0. It was on Max here in the United States. Did you guys feel like there were any major differences between this and Bellator 2.0, this and PFL? Or did it feel like just a PFL event with a Bellator label over it? We had familiar faces from the PFL broadcast, such as Sean O'Connell, who continues to be a delight as play-by-play man, Dan Hardy, who's tremendous. Liam McCourt was the third person in the booth. New graphics package. We didn't have Chael. Chael was at the wrestling tournament, so that didn't come to fruition. And there was another talent that did not appear. But overall, what did you guys think? Did it flow? Did you enjoy it? Did it feel more of the same? Did it feel hollow? Thoughts, feelings? Rick, I'll go to you.
Yeah, quite enjoyable. I think your description, the option that you provided of PFL show with Bellator talent was probably the most accurate. Like, it just felt like a PFL event with different fighters, which is an improvement in my opinion. Like, I just don't think Bellator ever really did that very well. The broadcasts were always quite tough, and especially, you know, certain elements of it. So I think it was an improvement. Good pace, good flow. Obviously, the crowd in Belfast was hungry for it and supported the fighters throughout the night. So good show, in my opinion. I think that's exactly the lane they need to have. But I do just wonder if it would not be better to combine these things, you know, and maybe that's happening down the line. But every event is going to make me think that as they continue this, it's going to make me think, why is this not one thing?
What do you think, GC?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Rick there in terms of, like, kind of feels like it should be one thing. Did like the production, sort of did feel like a PFL doing Bellator. I did really like it being on Max. I always had trouble with the Showtime app. I swear it was always
Showtime app awful.
I was always logged out.
Awful.
It was always an issue. Whereas this Max app on my TV, easy pull up, got it on my phone if I'm moving around, if I'm at a bar or a restaurant or something like that. So the ease of access is much better. But yeah, overall, solid. It was solid.
I would say I agree with you, Rick, in the sense that I understand that they want to differentiate this from the PFL season events, but if you just called this PFL Champion Series, right? I feel like you still get that. The only reason
You don't, because the PFL tournament fighters can't compete on them or won't compete on them. So that's where you lose that.
Okay, so I mean, I'm trying to agree with you here by bringing this up, and now you're playing devil's advocate as to why the Bellator name should be sticking around. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to differentiate it from the season. I'm saying I agree with you, but now in other words, the only reason to me to keep this is if you want to be able to sell this TV deal to someone else or broadcast.
Which they did successfully.
Exactly. So that's why they have to keep it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It will just be nice though.
that
It's just like, I guess in the back of my head, all I'm ever thinking is like Bellator is just PFL.
I don't think anyone thinks otherwise at this point. I think there's even a PFL logo on the belt, on the new belt.
My thinking of the combining and the uniformity is not necessarily in terms of like a branding. Like that, again, to your point, like I think that's kind of irrelevant. To me, it's, could Corey Anderson be in a tournament? And if not, could the other person who's in the tournament come fight Corey Anderson? Like, it precludes a lot of the reason to have a deep roster. And that's what I will think about. Like, what is the use of the tournament if not to then ultimately fight the Bellator fighter or the best fighter or whatever that thing is? and I can't not think of that.
I think a lot of those guys get paid a lot, and putting them in a tournament where they have to fight like 4 times or something like that is a tough pill to swallow for them. So I don't know. I feel like I can differentiate it. It doesn't really matter to me. It felt like a Bellator event. Honestly, it was all the same faces that we see at your typical Bellator event. There wasn't any like sharing of talent really, other than on the prelims like Nate Kelly and whatnot. But in terms of like the top fights, so I think
But from a production standpoint, it definitely felt more PFL. No.
yeah, it felt more PFL for sure, and the voices. I think the
Yeah.
problem that they're going to have is like Fabian Edwards just fought Johnny Eblin, and I know it was a fun fight, but the talent pool is if you're just going to try to keep if you're just going to keep the Bellator guys separate, the talent pool is just going to be very, very shallow. And it's not like you can use, even if you wanted to use people who pulled out of the tournament or whatever in the tournament, they don't have a middleweight division over there. So this has always been the problem. This was the problem in Strikeforce. But I still maintain it's good to have competition. It's good to have another place. It would be great if there were 3 other places for fighters to go. I don't love Friday afternoon cards. I really don't. I think it's just clunky. You're like someone who doesn't have kids. You're picking up. My daughter's like play, and I'm watching this thing. It's like no.
Yeah, you're in your carpool line, and you got the Max.
It's awful. It's awful. It's too stressful. I will say, I've never seen Max. I've never watched anything live on Max.
Yeah, same. This is my first
it's a good
live
point.
thing.
I didn't think about that.
Very smooth. The Showtime app was awful.
Awful.
I have a lot of trouble with ESPN Plus. I find it very clunky to pull.
I have my issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one I found seamless. The go live. I went backwards. Go live.
Super smooth experience.
Yeah. I like the fact that they did that that little history package. They played it a couple times, which got a little bit annoying. But that Belfast package, like it didn't feel like they were just throwing in the towel here and like it felt like they put muscle behind it. It felt like they put production behind it, TLC behind it, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I said the same thing about the pay-per-view as well. Like I had some criticisms of it certainly, and I will always have criticisms of everything. I think there's a pursuit of perfection, but effort is not their problem. Effort is not PFL's problem. They are trying in every capacity that they can, and you must appreciate that because that is how we get the competition. They will continue to strive for that. So, yeah, I agree with you. Like super smooth, clear effort went into creating the stakes here, right? Like explaining why Bellator is an important property for them. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
Was the biggest story of the weekend Igor Severino biting Andre Lima's arm? Was that really the biggest story of the weekend? And
yeah, I mean that's the one that like entered the mainstream. I mean, then UFC made the graphic for like bite of the night, and
right.
He got the tattoo, and then he got the bumped up from the 25K to the 50K. Yeah, that was the thing most people were talking about.
If your parents are, I think this is like, I don't know if it's a Middle Eastern thing. I don't know, but like my parents and all my family members from Lebanon and Egypt have this like mark on their arm from a shot that they used to get as kids that create. Do you know this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm aware of it. Yeah.
And it looked, I don't know if it was like for tuberculosis or something, but they all have it. My mom has it. My dad has it. Everyone. And that bite mark looked exactly like that shot mark.
The bigger version, right? The blown up kind of version of that. Yeah, you're right.
But getting the tattoo instantly was wild to me.
Well, my question was, did he shower? Was he 100% clean there? Because like,
probably not.
It
the
felt
bite probably wasn't even clean. Did they disinfect it, or did they just go straight in with the
I was worried about that.
The guy went straight from. It was like he finished his interview or whatever, and just walked right out the door straight to the tattoo parlor.
I also feel like the tattoo was a little bit weird. It said like what was the
It was the phrasing that Dana White used about the bonus.
I know, but I feel like it should have said bite, like bite of the night or something. I think it should have said something.
No, it was grammatically correct. It was a phrase for the bonus, right? Like I got effing bit bonus.
Yeah,
like was the
I got
terminology.
Effing bit bonus. But it just doesn't seem like good grammar.
No, that's right.
That's all right. That's a tattoo that I wonder if in like 10 years you're like, man, should I?
No, 1,000%.
Oh no, definitely love that tattoo.
This guy loves it.
Yeah,
he's got a whole bunch of tattoos already.
On this. If it's him making these decisions, like all credit to him. If it's his team making these decisions, all credit to them. Whoever's coming up with the idea to kind of continue this is brilliant. He was the story of the weekend, and I love everything. But I will admit, I did not think of the sanitary concerns and the cleanliness.
Yeah.
But now that you're mentioning it, certainly that's an area. Getting a tattoo is somewhere you'd want to have that at a maximum and optimally. So yeah, you're right. I did not think of that. But
That was the first thing that came to mind. Also,
Yeah.
it is really freaking deep. Like that wasn't just like a.
No.
That was
yeah,
like.
yeah. That looks like a serious, like he was latched on.
It is actually crazy that.
Bit of a small jaw, no?
Can you do you have a photo that you could pull up?
Let's see if I can,
Yeah, it is a bit small, the jaw, but like, I really do think that it's almost shocking that it didn't break the skin because it was so deep.
Well, the mouth guard is presumably in,
that's
and you've
such a good
got that on the
point.
top row, and then you also have to think he didn't get right. He's not getting a big chomp. He's not getting a full mouth like open close. He's got to do a little bit of a like this and then like squeeze it.
Yeah.
But to leave that type of impression, you had to do that pretty damn hard.
That is
so
crazy.
we can't.
Am I tripping, or is that like
It is small.
very small? Like it looks like.
Remember, he's not opening his full mouth, right? He's not
Yeah,
on the guy's
yeah.
arm and trying to chomp on
Right.
it and engulf it. It's a small.
It looks like a
opening here.
piranha bit him.
Yeah.
What's weird about it is it's like I guess you could say piranha. It is fully like it's closed. It's not like half. Which if you were doing like that, I don't know. Was it legit?
No, now you're saying.
Okay. I'm kidding. It was crazy.
Here's the tattoo.
Shout out to this guy.
Yeah, this is crazy. Good for him. Now they'll talk about it every time he fights.
Oh yeah, for
Oh, yeah,
sure.
big
You
time.
remember last time?
Yeah.
Look at that Zoom quality. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
getting back
We've
there.
latched onto sillier things in MMA
Great.
than this. I'm in full support of this.
The I got fucking bit bonus.
Yeah, there we go.
You see, yeah, I guess it's.
Grammatically, it
I
makes
guess
sense.
we're missing the. If it was the I got.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that I could buy.
Yeah. Do you agree with Severino getting cut?
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you bite a guy.
He's not somebody who is deep enough into his UFC career to make this judgment call. You know, like he's not somebody who's.
So if it
been on
was
the
like Dustin
roster
Poirier,
long enough.
do you think
If
he
Dustin
does?
Poirier bites him, I think there's a conversation.
Yes,
If it's him,
I don't think Dana is just like knee jerk, like he's cut. I think it's different. But like this is a guy on the early prelims on an Apex card,
Yeah.
making his official UFC debut.
You're not there
Bite a
yet,
guy, you're
boss.
out.
You're not there yet to be able to make that move.
And now it seems like, according to Steve Morocco of MMA Fighting, that the Nevada State Athletic Commission is withholding his purse.
As they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't bite a guy, man.
You
Just it's in the rule books. You can't do that.
The most famous bite in combat sports, obviously, Mike Tyson. He was fined $3 million, and his boxing license was revoked after he bit Evander Holyfield's ear twice in their fight back in 1997. So there is some kind of precedent. Yeah, crazy that he would do that.
He lost his mind. I'm sure we'll hear from him at some point. He lost his mind, and
Yeah, I don't know if he thought that like he might get away with it or what the deal was. Yeah, I mean, you bite someone, it's gonna leave a mark,
Oh yeah.
and now a tattoo that's gonna last forever.
Rose versus Macy Barber. That's the one I want to see. Aaron.
Yeah, I
Aaron-
don't need to see the rematch.
Well, the which rematch?
Fiorot Rose.
No.
Mentioned that in her post fight press conference about maybe doing that if.
Well, I think the winner of Aaron and Manon gets the title shot.
100%.
but they're gonna have to wait.
I know.
That's all right. That's all right. To me, if whoever wins that fight, you can't accept another fight that's not a
A
title
risk.
shot.
But I
Sounds
mean,
like
they're legit
veteran-
waiting.
Who do you take it from?
You're legit waiting
Rose?
almost a year. You could hold that person off by giving them the backup spot so they make a few dollars, but like the timing is awful. The
If
title
I'm-
fight is happening in September.
If I'm Aaron, I want the Rose fight.
I guess you put a BMF belt on.
You take the
line
Rose, you
to,
win,
fill in the time.
you win, and you take the Rose fight to
That's
use
what
as-
I'd be angling for. Obviously, if I'm Manon, I would not do that, right? Like I don't need to fight Rose again. If I'm Aaron and I win, I would want the Rose fight.
Yeah, but I guess Aaron and Rose could main event a fight night.
And now you're putting your title shot on the line.
That's what I'm saying. I say you don't accept
Or
the fight.
wait.
Period.
I'm always in favor of fighters waiting. I'm always saying I
Always.
always say take the what is it, the bird in the hand. I say
bird in the hand, two in the bush.
always keep it. Always take the title opportunity. But it sounded like she wants to stay active. She in fact, she explicitly said it to you. She said, "I would rather stay active than wait."
Right.
Rose is the fight that I would be angling for.
No, I know, but it's a fight she should be angling for. But in an actual like real world meritocracy, whatever, she will have
no
done
doubt.
enough.
Well, also, yeah, who knows what she's saying if she gets the win on Saturday, and now it's just like you are next for the title. You get the winner of Grasser Shevchenko. Are you still saying
Right.
that you want the Rose fight
Yeah.
at that point?
I don't think the UFC would do that. Like, I don't think the UFC would come out and be like, "Hey, we've got this title fight coming at some point in the future. You're definitely next to her." Doesn't strike me.
Of
like,
course, yeah. I mean,
because
they're
they
not
could
going
have
to go
said
in
that
the
after
back,
this
but I'm
fight.
just saying, like, I feel like her management, all of her team at that point is just like, all right, I mean, because whoever loses on Saturday, that's going to be their first UFC loss. They're both 6-0. They're both like incredibly high in the rankings. It just feels like a no-brainer. Whoever wins is going to get the winner of this trilogy.
I would have said that last fight too.
Shout out to Rose. Carl Williams with a win over Justin Tafa. Emin Shabazian with a very impressive win over AJ Dobson. What about Peyton Talbott? This guy is
Big one.
He's just so fascinating. I really just enjoy his vibe. He's just so different.
I find it very
The juxtaposition of you and him was very entertaining.
How so?
I mean, he's just this young, very young kid, and he's seems
what
like
am I?
he's,
What
he's
am I?
more a little hip and cool for his generation.
And what am I?
Of the last generation?
Wow.
Jeez.
All right. Tell me how you really feel.
You're older millennial. He's Gen
Yeah,
Z.
there you go.
The contrast is very
Nailing it.
apparent.
What's the cutoff between older
Millennial?
Yeah.
Old and millennial or millennial and Gen
Older
Z?
millennial and Gen Z. Like, how do you go from Gen Z to? Is it millennial Gen Z?
I want to say Gen Z is like 98.
98, born in 98.
I think so.
Golly, he's born. Let's see here. 98.
97 to 2012 is Gen Z.
97 to 2012. Meaning what? If you're born in 2011, you're Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you're born past 2012?
Then you're the
What is
new
that?
one.
The new one. There's another one now.
Oh,
Gen
God.
A?
That's my
Do
case.
we
start all over again?
Reset it? I don't know.
And is millennial the one before Gen Z? Or is there something between Gen Z and millennial?
Nah,
it's Gen Z.
millennial into Gen Z.
So we're like right there.
No, but you're on
we're
the
neck and
see,
neck.
You're on the other end of the spectrum.
yeah.
I'm closer to premillennial. What's premillennial?
Generation X.
Fuck. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, what's the cutoff
Gen
there?
Y, no?
That's like the 70s. No. Millennials is Gen Y, but we got
okay.
nickname
Got it.
millennials. And then there's boomers.
I'm not a
And
baby.
then I think the golden generation.
Yeah, shout out to them. Anyway, I like Peyton and I like his YouTube channel a lot. Yusuf Salal, big win for him
Man,
over Billy
big
Q.
one, dude.
My favorite
Feel
part was
for Billy.
when he came on the mic and said, Las Vegas, guess who's back? And there was 4 people going like, yeah. Like his energy was great, but it's just
Yeah, he brought it. but they
it's
didn't.
just the fucking apex, man. I don't know what else to say. I used to think that the 10 p.m. main card FS1 cards were killing my soul. I've said it on the show. Those were killing my soul. 10 p.m. main card Apex
No, it's the death of my soul.
is just, I don't know what this is. I don't even know how to put it into words. Why? And
Because they want to save money.
please, one of the great people who are at one of these events, I've never asked you to do anything, but it's now your time. How is it that we've been doing this for 4 years? Not a single person, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it. Just ask them. Ask Dana White the question. Why? I just want to know why. I want to hear it. Why do you continue to do the events at the Apex? Why are you doing, what, a third of your events at the Apex? Is that fair if there's 40 something? Why? I want to know why. You can't give us the, well, when the world starts opening up bullshit anymore. Please just tell. I want to hear it. Why do you keep doing it? And I'd love if someone did an interview with an ESPN bigwig. Why are you okay with this? Why is this all right? Why can't you just say, can we just go back to how it was in 2019, beginning of 2020? Every event was on the road. And to the people who say, at least we get the events. No, every event was on the road back then in a different country. Same amount.
Fights. Exact same amount.
All over the world, city to city. We went from Atlantic City to Austin to Jacksonville to Chicago to Australia to Singapore to Abu Dhabi to everywhere in between. Why do we still have to have these events at the Apex? It drives me insane. I turn it on and you're watching the NCAA tournament and you're watching DAZN boxing and you're watching NBA and it's, everyone's going crazy. And then it's like, okay, this is going to be such a great night. And like you hear everything and it takes me back to 2020 and it drives me insane. It drives me insane.
And you talk about the 4 people being there. I've started doing some research on how I could potentially be at UFC APEX 100. If you want to go to one of these events, it's thousands of dollars. It's not like you can just get in. You have to do the full VIP.
Those should be the
experience and
cheapest.
everything. Oh, they're so expensive. It's thousands of dollars.
It's killing my soul. It is killing my soul. I try to show people like, this is what I do for a living. This is what I love. This is the sport that I love. This is what I fell in love with. This is what I devoted my life to. And then it's an empty, this is the cream of the crop. This is the best league fighting organization in the world. And we're doing events in front of 4 people still in
Rick's
2024.
preparing his counter-argument.
I've got nothing to
There's
argue
nothing to
against
argue. There's no, I'm not accepting anything. There's no reason for this. And it drives me insane. And you know what's the worst part about it? Forget about how I feel. Forget about how you feel. Forget about how the fans feel, the internet feels, Twitter feels. Forget about any. The fighters deserve more. Peyton Talbott should be fighting in front of people. Rose Namajunas should be fighting in front of people. All these great fighters should be fighting in front of thousands of people, and they should be showered with love on the way in and on the way out. They should be getting the full UFC experience, not the minor league experience. You didn't work your ass off to get to the empty warehouse. Come on, enough. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.